she got hers. I really can't wait to listen to this. Presenting tattoos, please welcome up Callie Foote.
People's opinions on tattoos vary an incredible amount. Some people love them, some people hate them, some people just don't really understand them at all. People's reasons for getting tattoos also vary a lot. People get it for cultural reasons, some people get it to remember a special person or event in their life, and some people just want a tattoo, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was asked not too long ago why I got my tattoos and to talk about their appeal a little bit, so that is what I'm going to do today. I grew up in a family that was fairly accepting of them. My brother doesn't have any, but my mom has one. I have 4, and I think my dad has 8. I've kind of lost track at the moment. Not that they were excited about me getting mine when I approached them at 17 about wanting a tattoo. My mom's response especially was pretty much just, fine, whatever, you're almost an adult, you can do whatever you want, just don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear about it. My dad was a little bit more accepting. He just said, if it's really what you want to do, plan it out really well, whatever. The only real tattoo hater in the family is my great-grandfather. He served in the Navy and is covered, like arms, legs, everywhere with those old school style tattoos they used to get. Every now and then I've caught glimpses of them at family dinners when he rolls his sleeves up, and I think they're really cool. They are a little faded, but they're beautiful to look at, and there's a lot of history connected to those. He hates them. He despises them. He regrets them. He went ballistic when he found out my cousin had any. That was my grandpa's fault that he found out about hers, and it is a goal of mine to make sure he never finds out about mine. So far, so good. I was 18 when I got my first one, 2 months after my birthday. I have calla lilies, which are a flower, tattooed on my ankle. I planned that thing out for at least a year. I printed out pictures, drew it, redrew it, threw those away, traced them, I cut them out, kind of looked at it, see how it would look on different, like leg, arm. I planned it out to a T. My dad went with me that night. Pain-wise, it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't fun. I did find out later that your ankle is one of the more sensitive areas to get a tattoo, so keep that in mind. I got home that night and I was all excited to show my mom, like, look what I got. And she was like, oh my God, it's so big. Kind of too late for that, but oh well. I got my second tattoo 2 years later when I was 20. I have footprints going down the back of my shoulder. My last name, as you heard at the beginning, is Foote, so it's a fairly obvious reason why I got those. The same cousin, Alicia, has the same tattoo on her foot, which I find pretty amusing, but I'm not tough enough to get a tattoo on my foot because that's supposed to suck. So yeah, that's the one I got just to connect with my family and to connect to my cousin. My third tattoo I got when I was 21. A year after that, I have a paw print tattooed right on the top of my shoulder. And this is my dog's actual paw print. I remember laying out the piece of paper and the ink pad on the floor. I grabbed my dog and was just stamping her paw from the ink pad to the piece of paper. And as you can imagine, this did not go over well with Faye. She was pretty pissed at me for the rest of the day. But she got plenty of treats and she was fine. Now, Faye is the first dog I ever owned in my life. So she, no matter how much of a pain in the butt she is sometimes, is always going to be really special to me. So I have something of hers to take with me for the rest of my life. The fourth tattoo I got, I was 23 and I have an ocelot tattooed right on the side of my calf. This is the only tattoo that I really did get just because I wanted a tattoo. There's not really a special meaning connected to this one at all, but I still like it and I still think it looks pretty cool. Pretty big, bigger than I initially planned, but still cool. Tattoos nowadays are so ubiquitous I would say the majority of my friends have at least one. Several of my friends their arms are covered. Even a lot of my family members and aunts and uncles, great aunts have at least one. Now I know a lot of friends who just wanted a tattoo, and that's perfectly fine. I also know several people who got theirs for very personal reasons. I have a kind of sad example of this is my neighbors in high school lost their son to cancer, and they later got tattoos, matching tattoos, remembering Zachary. And I know those are very important to them. Personally, yeah, there's one I got just because I wanted it, but I got my tattoos because I like the idea of being connected to things that I really care about, like my family, friends, where I live when I eventually move away and start moving on. Not everybody likes tattoos, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Some people just don't like the way they look, and the idea of having something on your body for life is pretty daunting. That's why it's important to plan it out really well, make sure you know exactly what you want. The bottom line for me is, if you want one, just go for it. Why not? Mr. Toastmaster.